and welcome back to Glorious Battle Diaries. I know it has been quite a few days since I last showed you anything from our map, but to be honest there wasn't much to be shown since it was basically just battles back and forth. But now that the map has opened and we have had some battles, I think now is good time to show how the map is currently. So we are still at the red Scarlet faction over here, and as you can see, it's quite safe to say that our faction has run out of steam, so to say. So basically we have been cut out by the purple faction to our left and by the yellow faction on top of us. Basically when the map opened more, we were able to reach all the way to the center, but then after that we have lost quite a few battles, and at the moment we are only holding two small merchants up here in the north. So basically all we can do now is try to get some more points and eliminations by fighting close to our base. Purple faction has selected the right path and they have been successful in going towards the middle parts, but they are under quite a lot of pressure by the green faction to their left. And as you can see, green faction is preparing to attack purple faction in two places over here, so let's see how that battle goes. Green faction has conquered a lot of territory and they are pretty much uncontested over here as well, since you can see there are a lot of neutral buildings still, and green faction has been using their horns to conquer the map more and probably hunting some elimination points. Orange faction is doing pretty well as well. They have the buff circle at the northern part and they have a border with green faction over here, and basically they have pretty nice control of the top left corner of the map. The shadow faction here is basically a little even worse situation than us. They only have their medium military cities and they are getting their eliminations from the medium merchant cities next to their neighbors. The blue faction is doing pretty okay. They have both paths away from their base and they have been able to capture some of the middle portions of the map, so things are looking pretty good for them. And for Frost faction over here, they are basically in the same situation as us. They have been chased down to their base and they are doing some fights with the yellow faction and also the blue faction. And lastly, the yellow faction, they have the northern part of the map pretty much secured, and also they have been able to push us back over here, so that's the standings at the moment for the map. The glorious city in the middle is still bubbled, and like I said previously, when Treacher's battlefield is complete, then the glorious city will be opened. And if we look at the world progression, you can see that this phase will end in 1 day and 6 hours, and after that it will be the final push for the glorious city in the middle. So I will be giving you more updates later on this event, and in this video I also want to talk about resilience and how it affects your battles in Glorious Battle. So firstly, if we look at the rules about the resilience, it says that resilience will be reduced from various actions. First of all, every 8 seconds of marching time uses 1 resilience. So marching is when you send your march from fortress or from your base. So every 8 seconds 1 resilience is being used. Also, when you are in battle and every time you lose any amount of troops, you will be reduced by 12 resilience. And here we have the resilience chart. So basically at 0 resilience your stats are being reduced down to 35% of their original value. And let's say if you have 160 resilience, then your stats will be 106% compared to your normal stats. And here at 100 resilience, then your stats will be as they would be in any other fighting scenario. And if we look how it looks like in the battle report, so here you can see this is my first attack on this particular deployment. And when we go to battle record, when you click open here, this one, you can see that my resilience for this fight was 121 resilience. And when we scroll all the way down, you can see that I have taken this many infantry casualties in this fight, so I have lost troops. Now if we go to the next report, here you can see that when we press here, now my resilience was only 109, so it went down because I lost troops. Here if you look, now it says 0 casualties in this fight. And it is because the enemy sent only 10,000 tier 1 infantry, so none of my troops died. And when we go to next report, and we check out resilience, it is still 109. So my resilience wasn't reduced in this fight. And once again, I have 0 casualties, so in the next fight, my resilience is once again 109. But here next is a report where you can see I lost troops. The previous fights were only 10k T1s, so my resilience is still 109. But here you can see, once again, I lost troops, and despite my Dragon Reinforcement skill offset them, if this value here says any casualties, then the outcome is, when we go to the next report, here you can see my resilience is down to 97. So basically that's how resilience works, and this is important to notice because every time you're sending troops to battle, you should be sending at least an amount that will wound or kill even one troop from the enemy. That way you will be reducing the enemy's resilience, and it will make your faction's fight easier when enemy resilience goes down. So basically that's my tip and trick for this video, and see you in the next episode of Glorious Battle Diaries.